Hi everyone, my name is Konstantin Riegel and I'm a Principal Solutions Engineer with SnapLogic. And I'm here today to show you a nice MCP demo. For that, let's take a look at our use case here today. So we are now in the shoes of our shop manager called Phil, who is tasked with planning the shifts for one of his shops he's responsible for. And Phil has quite a few challenges in his daily work, as he is dependent on the data coming from a legacy mainframe application. He has only limited access to this data. Sometimes he even just gets some CSV exports or some printouts where he needs to do his planning on. And on top of that, he has more than 20 employees per shop. He needs to plan according to their working hours, their individual requirements, when they're available and when they're not. And also the staffing requirements change over the course of a day. So in the morning, we have less visitors in the shop, so we don't need as many staff personnel in the shop, so we can leave a few people out, but in the afternoon and evening hours there are more people coming in, and here we have additional requirements in terms of personnel. Also, people get sick, people want to take some time off, and this is adding even more challenges to his daily job. Right now the whole process is manual, and he has also other important tasks to do, so sometimes he can't just put too much work into all those optimizations. Let's make sure that everybody is kind of evenly spreading the workload across the team. Sometimes people have to take more overtime than others, and this is creating friction and challenges within the staff. People get unhappy and they would just want to make their free time count. So how can we support Phil in his daily work? Let's take a look at that and see how we can make or create an MCP server on top of legacy mainframe data and make that system AI ready for our processes. So let's jump into the demo. We are now, before we jump into the demo, we have some setup steps to make. The settings, where we can add an MCP server. And here we have added an MCP server for retail shop planning. You see it's pointing to a SnapLogic URL here. We have several different tools available. We have a tool for staff availability for a specific week and store. We have employee data we can retrieve, the employee availability. You also see each time the description, what kind of fields are coming back. You see the opening requirements, the staffing gaps, the store staffing requirements. You can get some the list of stores back, and we can also retrieve the time off, where we also store the basically the sick days and hours here. So now we have connected ChatGPT to our MCP server. To be able to use it during our chat, we need to activate it here. And now I can actually go on and ask some questions as Phil. So now we're in the shoes of Phil. I can go ahead and ask, for example, what kind of stores can I manage? And this will use our available tools from SnapLogic. We will see now here basically what kind of stores we're getting back. We can see the tool description of this, and we can also see the raw results coming back from SnapLogic's URL pipelines we execute in the background. We see the whole list now. We have shops all over the place in Germany. We have in Frankfurt, Hamburg, Munich, and so on. What I want to do is I want to get in and understand for one of the shops I'm responsible for in Hamburg, basically what kind of, when is the shop open, what kind of staff do I have available, and please, I want to see how many people are in which role. So I start this, execute it, and based on the request, we will call different tools from our SnapLogic pipelines. And here, by example, we will now go ahead and first get the opening requirements of the shop. We will see when is it opened and so on. We can also do the same now for other tools as well. As the next step, ChatGPT is asking us for our approval to retrieve employee data. This has some personal data in it, so we have to approve it in this case. And this is now fetching also the hours of the people, the names, and so on. And once this is done, actually, our AI agent will put together this information and provide us with some results. Just to mention, you're completely free in the technology you want to use. You're not bound to ChatGPT or anything. MCP is a standard, and we'll be able to provide this kind of data to any AI agent who's able to retrieve data from an MCP server. So this is coming in while ChatGPT is fetching those data and present it back to us. We will see this in a second. We can also then check basically what is happening here, right? We see all the opening hours. We see the staff group by role. We see as well the time they work per week. For example, if you have a mini job or a full-time employee, and quite a few people working in this shop. And now I want to see also, okay, now I have a good overview. Let's go on and plan the actual week for the work, right? So I can go ahead and analyze any staffing gaps and see, hey, are there times where we don't have enough people for the required roles we have? And this is then giving us a nice overview where we might need to double down, getting people into overtime, or if we even have the need to hire additional people. And here as well, our AI agent can help with some recommendation. What is directly clear, there are some staffing gaps, and especially with the evening shifts. So people don't want to work in the evening, so they haven't selected this in their availability. And this will then need to get fixed in the next basically steps. So I could now go ahead and ask, for example, create a shift plan, right? And fix the gaps with overtime. And please try to evenly distribute this across the employees, right? I don't want to have any peaks, somebody taking 20 hours overtime and so on. So I want to have this like that. This will take some time. So that's why I basically switch over to a prepared result now. That's the Excel list coming back from my shift plan. It has a few tabs. It has the daily coverage, which was generated, where we see per day, hour by hour, or shift by shift, basically who's taking over the roles. We see the names of the employees. And then we have also an individual shift assignment plan where we could go in and, for example, filter by the employee. So we could create or share a plan with each of our employees. We see which hours they work over the whole next week. And we can even see a summary of all the overtime hours people are taking. And we also see that there are some people in specific roles who are not working the full hours. So if we compare it, actually, we have more people working less hours than too many overtime. So we can maybe address this in discussions with our staff and see that we can address the gaps and share the workload evenly without overpaying on overtime hours and making sure everybody's happy and it's working actually their hours. Now with that, let's cut the demo and take a look at SnapLogic, where we have all those integrations set up. So we see now here, for example, for the get stores table data, we are actually having a pattern we reuse here for our tool calling. We see here a generic JDBC connector to get the stores. This is basically fetching the data from our mainframe application from the store table, and if there is a city, we will also filter by the city here. And so we get a request in. This comes in with this format. So basically, we have a tool call. It's calling for the get stores field tool, and that's it. No parameters in this case. And then we fetch the data, and these are our results coming back. So we get now here basically the store, the result back from the tool. Now we have several tools available. You see the pattern or the shape of the pipelines look similar, some a little bit more complex, but you have always this kind of, okay, you have one request coming in, you have something to do, you have error handling, and then you union it together and have one output. And for each pipeline like that, for each tool, we will need to have some basic information set up. So if there are any parameters, we need to add those. And we then need also to specify in the Open API section of the edit pipeline view what kind of type is it and what is the description of the variable, as well as the info tab here, where we add in the actual purpose of this pipeline, which is the tool description, which is then also shared with the AI agent calling the MCP server. So, and to be able to actually create an MCP server, we will need to have a special kind of pipeline. This looks like that. It also comes with a pattern, so it's pre-built. All you need to do is to customize this multi-pipeline function generator snap. You get in here, you select your desired pipelines you want to share through MCP. And once you're done, you go in, create a trigger task, you select runtime environment, the SnapLogic. You decide if you want to register it as well as MCP server, and you can then also specify the node and define the authentication for the MCP server. And that's basically creating the endpoint and the user details you can then import into like your AI agent of choice, ChatGPT, Claude, any other kind of AI agent who is supporting the MCP standard. And that's how we can turn any kind of legacy system, share the data through MCP and make it available and help you with your AI agent projects to drive value and to use the data you already have available and access through SnapLogic. That's it. Thank you for today, and see you in the next demo.